Let's go. I can't shake it loose. This the hate produced. I'm here to break the loose and fight the devil. Ain't no truce. Raise it another level. Shame the devil. Say the truth. And look him in his eye when the enemy's facing you. I can't shake it loose. This the hate produced. I'm here to break the loose and fight the devil. Ain't no truce. Raise it another level. Shame the devil. Say the truth. And look him in his eye when the enemy's facing you. You peak pale skin beast. I hate your red, white, and blue. And Ku Klux Klan sheets. I hate your president, your senate, and your campaign speech. I hate the British and the Romans and the goddamn Greeks. It's no peace, yeah. Moral persuasion doesn't work with Caucasians. You speak this language through violence with guns blazing. So what I'm saying, negotiating with Satan, it's the waste of time. You out your African mind. Gonna make these devils pay for every single crime ever committed. Crackers, you did it, now it's time to die. I sprayed a ratchet, I batted, no moving backwards. I'm sending bullets at crackers and all faggots. Forward is the motion. Killing devils on different levels, concocting potions to stop them from encroaching. On our way of life, I got a knife to slit his throat quick. Get my people hyped, cause what I write is always dopeness, focus. I can't shake it loose, this the hate produced. I'm here to break the loose and fight the devil, ain't no truce. Raise it another level, shame the devil, say the truth. And look him in his eye when the enemy's facing you. I can't shake it loose, this the hate produced. I'm here to break the loose and fight the devil, ain't no truce. Raise it another level, shame the devil, say the truth. And look him in his eye when the enemy's facing you. Take a step in my lane, I'm projecting the pain. Visions and pictures in my veins of us tortured and slain. So many sons and daughters slaughtered, some known in the name. Bringing my eye to the situation is why I came. I shake every pet nation, gon' exterminate. Marcus Garvey, Mugabe, politics, run them all away. King Pianki type methodology, how the gods slay. Try life and I don't play. Kill these crackers in broad day. Enter the scene, got them clean and watch me swerve out it. Big juju in my pocket, I ain't worried about it. That goes for grown-ups to babies. Salute my Baba Khaled, Muhammad, we solid. I call for violence, is very valid. Yeah, murder these devils, it's divine order. We opposites, I reject the mixing like oil and water. Africa for Africans, representing them words strong. I say shut them borders down and let us get a purge on. I can't shake it loose, this the hate produced. I'm here to break the loose and fight the devil, ain't no truce. Raise it another level, shame the devil, say the truth. And look him in his eye when the enemy's facing you. I can't shake it loose, this the hate produced. I'm here to break the loose and fight the devil, ain't no truce. Raise it another level, shame the devil, say the truth. And look him in his eye when the enemy's facing you.
This ain't no Kumbaya vibe, my Yasa is a war tribe. That's my war cry, double H famine, it's wartime. Devils want it all, what's peaceful coexistence? Answer separation, he's violently resistant. Coupe tech, bullet cow, hit the deck when bullets fly. The devil won't change and needs to be euthanized. The stupidness, foolish minds, you will get used to blind. Suicide, trusting this cracker is suicide. Fool me once, shame on you. Fool me twice, you know the play. That peace talk is juvenile, it really don't hold no weight. Fighting hate with love sounds great in theory, but never ever work in history. Name one place that this cracker went. Name one place that this cracker left alone. I bet that they was war prone. Keep a piece in your wardrobe and know the world's a war zone.
I can't shake it loose, this the hate produced. I'm here to break the loose and fight the devil, ain't no truce. Raise it another level, shame the devil, say the truth. And look him in his eye when the enemy's facing you. I can't shake it loose, this the hate produced. I'm here to break the loose and fight the devil, ain't no truce. Raise it another level, shame the devil, say the truth. And look him in his eye when the enemy's facing you.
Hey, family. Welcome to another edition of Thorough Black Talk with your sister Keisha, your brother Tad, your brother Blacksmith, and your sister Marcia will be joining us shortly. I see brother Tad is working out some kinks or trying to, some technical difficulties, but that's what happens in these internet streets. You never know what's going to happen. I ain't rocking a fedora tonight. I had to keep the New York fitted on because I was out and about running. I just made it in the house on time to get the show started tonight. Busy, busy, busy day. So I am excited to rock out with each and every one of y'all. We missed y'all last week. Hope y'all was okay. Sister Donna, Alabama on the check-in. Brother Kerwood. What's good? What's good? What's good, family? Glad to see y'all black again with us. Magnetic Peace Tyson, North Kakalaki in the building. Our brother from another mother right there. Sister Farnessa, Alabama on the check-in. A BB for Hodie, sis. BB for Hodio. Sister Brooke, what's good? What's good? What's good? The NYC family is with us tonight. Safo. You know I had to come in with that one. I had to come in, Sister Farnessa, because we was off last week, so I had to come in heavy. And when I throw it back, I throw it back with United Front. Sister Keisha, what's good? What's good? Africans on the rise, the Black United Front family in the building. I'm Annette too, the Midwest crew. What's good, sis? Hope all is well with you and your king. Sister Joyce, brother Monty. Can we get some love in the chat for my sister Joyce tonight? Surgery was good. That's what I'm talking about. You gonna be all right, sis. You gonna be all right. Give some love for my sister Joyce tonight. Brother Monty, my big brother, want to check in. Brother Ray Ray in the BK William Mackey History Club. They will resume next week, Wednesday at 7 p.m. at 103 Quincy Street, or you can catch the live broadcast via Zoom. So follow us on our social media platforms so that you guys can be informed when they go live so that you can be a part of the history group. Thank you, Sister Farnessa. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I know Sister Joyce appreciates that. So I know we got a lot to discuss, family. You know, Brother Black, you ready? He gave me the thumbs up. He gave me the thumbs up. Brother Blacksmith, what's good with you this week, brother? How you feeling?
Chilling, chilling. How you?
Getting over a cold. You know, after I did the bike tour on Sunday, when I got home that evening, caught a very bad cold. So
sorry.
That's why we couldn't go live last week because my throat was swollen. I couldn't do nothing. So I stayed in the bed. But enough about me. How you feeling, brother? What's good with you this week? How has your week been thus far?
Lot of stuff going on in my personal life. I'm not gonna get into that.
Don't we all?
Yeah. I'm ready to start the show.
Okay.
There's a lot to talk about. A lot.
Yes.
Did you see the links that I sent you in the chat inbox?
I have one that you sent.
I sent three. We'll get into it when we go in. Yeah, you don't have to go into it right now.
Okay. All right.
Okay.
I got one so far. And then I gotta watch them because we can't play everybody's videos.
Right, got you. Okay.
Be careful with that. So I gotta watch them, And I forgot to call you. I was supposed to call you. Daggone it. That's my bad, Black. I apologize for that. I'll tell you, boy, I need another brain because this one is occupied 24/7. I knew I was supposed to do something. Dang. All right. We'll chop it out. We'll chop it out.
Okay.
Thank you, Sister Keisha. I know Sister Joyce appreciate all the love and she definitely appreciates that, her and Brother Monty. But like my brother Blacksmith said, we have a lot to discuss. I want to give a shout out, first of all, to everybody, who took part in the TD 5 Borough Bike Tour. This is not my first time doing it. It's my first time completing it. I'll tell you that much. So, yeah, it was very, very difficult. The day started out, cloudy or what have you, and they had anticipated rain throughout the day. But actually, the rain held off until, later on in the afternoon. So when I was coming across the Verrazano Bridge, that's when all of the rain hit me. And, coming back into the city and, um, traveling back on a bike in the rain. I absolutely hate riding in the rain. But we got through it, 40 miles down. I got my medal. My medal's around here somewhere. I don't know. Maybe I'll find it before the show is over and I'll show you guys the medal. But also, I want to give a shout out to the Black Girls Do Bike. I was rocking out with them um, during the bike tour and I met some really nice people. I met some brothers from the Netherlands who were taking place in the bike tour. So we'll get into all of that later. But like you said, we got a lot to discuss, Brother Black.
Mm-hmm.
A lot has been happening in the news. Now, I know you all may have heard about Governor Kathy Hochul making commentary as it relates to black and brown children don't know what a computer is. Now, I told y'all that this Democratic Party is a racist bunch of heathens. And I also, let y'all know that um that this party always shows its true colors, whether you want to see it or not. excuse me, it will show its true colors. So during this discussion with current Governor Kathy Hochul, she was asked about affordability, technology, where it's going, how New York is faring in that. So she makes a comment that black children in the Bronx, in particular, everybody hate on the Bronx. Black children in particular don't even know what a computer is. Now, for all of their parents and grandparents, this one's on you because you voted this heifer in. Every time I look at Governor Kathy Hochul, don't she remind you of that lady from Get Out? Like I feel like I'm going into the sunken place. Every time I look at her face, I feel like I'm going into the sunken place. So I gotta look for her from the side. I can't look straight at her face. But let's hear what she said. We'll come back and we'll discuss it. This clip is from Doggy Diamonds TV. Shout out to Doggy Diamonds TV. Here we go.
Up in the Bronx who don't even know what the word a computer is. They don't know. They don't know these things. And I want the world open up to all of them because when you have their diverse voices innovating solutions through technology, then you're really addressing society's broader challenges. Young black kids growing up in the Bronx who don't even know what the word a computer is. They don't know. They don't know these things. And I want the world open up to all of them because when you have their diverse voices innovating solutions through technology, then you're really addressing society's broader challenges. Young black kids growing up in the Bronx.
I mean, just blatant disrespect. And then she's gonna try to clean it up later. And then I saw, all of her Democratic shills, those who support her, trying to take up for her. You know what I'm saying? Like that's all right to do. No, it's not a Freudian slip. She knew exactly what she was saying. She knew exactly what she was doing. So I have a question for all of you voters out there who vote Democrat, vote blue, no matter who. How do y'all feel about Miss Sunken Place making such, disparaging comments about black children? Now, see, what should have happened, all the black parents in the Bronx should have kept their children home until she apologized to each and every one of them individually. Break the system. Now nobody in the Bronx is getting no money. Nobody in the Board of Ed in the Bronx is getting no money. Period. That's what you got to do. Very, very disrespectful. Brother Black, did you hear that commentary?
Of course I heard it. That's my hometown. I mean, I believe everything right now that's happening in life is just to distract us from what is called one of the videos that I sent you. That's why I knew I was going to get into that quick because what is called the Carrington event. And if y'all know about the Carrington event, just in brief, you should research it because it's out there. It was a solar flare that hit the earth in 1859, and it caused all kind of devastation all over the country, and for the most part, all over the world. It didn't affect everywhere, but and we're supposed to have one this weekend. Now, I'm not trying to spook nobody out, because when you make those kind of predictions, it's gonna happen now. But I'm not saying it's gonna destroy everything. I'm just saying when you do your research, you'll look into it and see what happened for yourself, and then you can make your own mind up as to what happened. But just be prepared for it.
Right. So it's funny you say that. I just been having a feeling, you know, just a feeling that something is about to go real crazy. I don't know what, but I just have a feeling, especially if Donald Trump get put in Rikers Island. Things is gonna go crazy because these his supporters, I should say, are on 10 right now. You had three court dates this week, I think it was. I attended two, but 3 court dates this week. People were outside bugging, and egging him on. And he's easy to gaslight, right? Because he wants to be vocal, so he's easy to gaslight, even though he's been warned several times not to speak about anyone in the case, anything about the case, the judge, defendants, or I mean, excuse me, accusers, the district attorney, etc. However, that goes in one ear and out the other with Donald Trump. Now, this week, they talked about, or Stormy Daniels herself was on the stand, and she gave explicit details about their sexual encounters. Now, one thing I can say about Donald Trump, I bet you he ain't touting Melania around the place. You ain't seen her nowhere, not one place. You ain't seen her, and you ain't seen her daughter. You see the difference? Remember, Brother Black, I said when black folks get in trouble, they always bringing their mama to court. When you get locked up, whatever, call my mother or whatever. Do you see him parading his daughter and his wife through all of this nonsense that's going on? No, he's staying firm by himself. When he gets out of the vehicle, because I've been watching, when he gets out of the vehicle, nobody gets out unless it's his security detail. He's not dragging his wife and his daughter through this. They already got to deal with it. But unlike our folks, we like to take our mama in the courtroom too. No matter what it is. That's crazy to me. I was watching a reality show. Anybody in the chat ever seen Love and Marriage Huntsville? If you ever seen that show, it's crazy. But anyway, one of the characters on the show, he gets into a legal situation, but he happens to have his children at home with him when he is arrested for allegedly sending some disrespectful text messages to his ex-wife. And so he gets arrested. This is in Alabama. Immediately, he portrays himself to have everything together. However, when you get in trouble on a warrant and get arrested, the first person you call is your mother. And you are a 40-something-year-old man. That's problematic to me. This is what I'm saying. The world will never respect you in this manner. In this manner. I find that highly offensive. When I go down to family court, and y'all don't have to believe me, just go sit down there one day. Take a day off if you're retired or what have you. Go to family court and just sit there and see how crazy y'all look out here in these courtrooms. It's listen. I vowed throughout my life I would never humiliate my mother. Ever. No matter what I was doing outside in the street. I bet you my mama ain't know about it. I bet you ain't come back to my man. Listen, that is I'm getting hot just thinking about it. I'm getting ticked off because we got to do better. We really have to do better in how we carry ourselves. And if you're an adult, you behave like an adult. Stop the shenanigans. And I know it's it's this codependent mechanism that we've had for quite some times with our mothers, especially when they mandated the fathers leave the home. So, in case some of you may have forgot or a little too young and don't know, here's a little refresher, and we'll come back and we'll discuss it of how dad was asked to leave the home.
The man in the house rule was written to prevent welfare cheating, to make sure that aid to families with dependent children would go only to families headed by mothers. But the effect of the man in the house rule is to create for children an atmosphere of investigation and surveillance. And thus, the welfare system in its operation turns out to be a system to make life harder for children.
The welfare system helps the disintegration of the American family. It offers money to families if the fathers will leave them and stay away, in that sense undoing the very stability of the family and taking away one of the two parents that children, of course, need.
So, again, this pathology that we have been dealing with for quite some time, we've got to change that because, time waits for no one, as my mother used to say. And the world is progressing at such a rapid rate right now. This codependent mechanism, it's problematic. It's problematic, and it's been that way for quite some time. So, I can't deal. Oh yes, those prepper channels, definitely, Sister Farnessa, check those out. And then, like I said, 2 weeks ago, slowly but surely, as you go to the supermarket or wherever it is that you get your things from, just pick up a little extra, to make sure that you have. So if you want to buy 1 can of beans, get 2 can of beans, something like that. Cut out a lot of the foolishness that we seem to engage ourselves in. Excuse me. We engage ourselves in a lot of foolishness outside of family and community, and that's very problematic. It can be a distraction, but it also can be a tool, if you will, used by our enemy against you and the community. So we gotta, pay attention to all of that. Brother Ray Ray says, if he go to the 4 building, word, yeah, we'll see. We'll see what happens, Ray Ray. It's gonna be, I'm telling you right now, especially y'all who live remotely or who live in these areas where you're isolated. Watch your back, your front, and your side. I don't know how y'all do that anyway. I don't want to be the only one of me looking. Listen, in no area I go to, I don't care if it's a restaurant, wherever, I don't feel comfortable if I'm the only one that looks like me in the building. Sister Keisha said his wife don't like him. She's not going. It could be. It could be. I mean, allegedly, and in the court proceedings the other day, allegedly, they don't even sleep in the same room. So we'll see how that work out. But still, even Hunter Biden, if you will, with all of his craziness that this fool have going on, you don't see him. Jill Biden is not there. Jill Biden is not there. When he had to face the Senate committee, his mother wasn't sitting there with him. It just looks bad. It really does. It really does. Sister Farnessa, yeah, you watching? So I'm not crazy, right? That's what happened. I'm not crazy. He calls his mother. He calls his mother. But you the man. You don't got nobody else but your mother. And she's an elderly woman, right? If he's 40-some years old, I believe so. So, Sister Brooklyn, she said she had to stop. Okay, all right. They enforce it with black families, but left white families alone. Well, it goes back to Sister Farnessa, what I explained before, the difference between civil rights and natural rights. We are not treated the same because we're not all under the same umbrella. You know, people got tricked with fighting for the civil rights thingy. So, you know, people got tricked with a lot of that. But I'm gonna get off my soapbox. We gotta move on because I don't want to keep y'all long tonight. We waiting for Sister Marcia work out some kinks to get up in here. But this whole thing with Kendrick and Drake, Brother Black, have you been listening to the songs?
No, I haven't. But what I did hear is that Kendrick called Drake a pedophile on one of these songs.
Mm-hmm.
It could be real because if you go in there, that you don't casually call somebody that. That is very specific and very. No one will side with you, even other pedophiles, if they ain't been busted yet.
Mm-hmm.
No one will defend that and then try to use that as a defense to say, well, he's not one, or if they don't know personally, or if they have a stake in not telling anybody that he's that. But like I said, the distractions. Let me go back to that word again. The distractions are just getting crazy intense now, because to say that, and then I don't know if you heard the latest. There was a shooting at Drake's house where somebody supposedly passed away or got critically injured. I don't remember which one.
I think it's someone on his security detail, I believe,
Okay.
was hit with a firearm.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, if that being the case, if it's true, because they could say anything and then float it out there, and for all we know, they could be at freak off parties right now. But the point I'm making when I say all that, I'm going to go back to Trump and then I'm going to come back to Kendrick Lamar and Drake. It has been known for some time now that they are, and Dick Gregory was even saying this when he was still alive. And anybody who's into this type of knowledge has to know that there are many Donald Trumps, and the one appearing in that court in New York is not the real one. Okay. With all these stories that we're hearing about in the news, whether it's alleged or true or what have you, don't even pay attention to that stuff, because it doesn't matter anyway to any of us, especially if it isn't true. It's just something for us to talk about outside of what's going on. And I'm telling you, these celestial events are going to happen, whether they do all this devastation that the one in 1859 did or not. So getting back to Kendrick and Drake now, as far as that's concerned, the latest is that this person got shot at his house. And right before I got on this very show, Jamil Peterson, who's a comedian from Philadelphia, but he be clowning all the entertainment and exposing stuff right now. He said that Drake had a nervous breakdown, is now in the hospital. So, again, this is just going to be a soap opera until the event happens, and then nobody's going to be thinking about anything because we were so distracted. We thinking about that when it's this.
I get you. Let's hear what your former president said some years ago. And somebody said this didn't age well for Drake, but here we go.
Fabric.
All right, so we had Drake versus Meek Mill. A lot of people were tweeting that to me. We kind of know the outcome of that. But if Drake and Kendrick Lamar got in a rap battle, who do you think would win?
You got to go with Kendrick. I'm just saying. I think Drake is an outstanding entertainer, but Kendrick, his lyrics, his last album was outstanding.
Excellent. All right.
Best album I think last year.
Thanks so much for your time, Mr. President.
Too much fabric.
I tell you, it didn't age well for him. But I've heard some of the cuts. I do like Not Like Us. Shots was fired at Drake on that one. However, and I gotta give a shout out to the Black Dot. The Black Dot has given some great commentary as far as this is concerned. I'm gonna try to pull up his commentary so you guys can see all of that. But I just wanted to say that I heard some of the tracks on both sides. I can barely get through Drake. I really don't like his voice. When he first came out, he just annoys me. So it doesn't matter. His lyrical content, I can't really get through that because I just don't like him. And his voice, I don't know, it cringes my spirit. But anyway, some of the cuts that Kendrick released were, as you reported, Brother Black, were quite damning. And you know, it is what it is. It is what it is. And allegedly, Kendrick has lifted the copyright on his releases. I think it was what, 5 of them in the last couple of days, I think. But all of those releases, he has lifted the copyright so that those of us in the blogospheres can discuss it and our channels won't get flagged. So, you know, that's a one up right there. But I definitely like the way that the Black Dot analyzed this rap battle. Also, some commentary that Dr. Wesley Muhammad made in reference to this rap battle. Now he says, you know, I'm no hip hop head or anything like that. This is from Dr. Wesley Muhammad, and you can go on YouTube, guys, and see it at your own will. But he says, I'm no hip hop head, but I find this to be quite dangerous. And, you know, this is before now, the other day, of the information of Drake's alleged bodyguard or whatever, security detail, was shot. So I guess Dr. Wesley Muhammad had a point, that somebody was going to be hurt. But, you know, that's neither here nor there. When it comes to the craft of hip hop, battling is a part of that. Battling is a part of that. And so all of us who are old enough to know better, or old enough to know how this thing really go, you know that this is a part of the culture. What's problematic is when you make it um, when you make it problematic for the consumers of the music, right? Meaning we can get into trouble, we can get hurt by going to see one of y'all. You know, people get hurt at shows all the time. Innocent people who work for these people can possibly be hurt. So you never know. You never know. And we have to be very, very careful on how we play this thing. And I'm talking about those of us in these streaming spheres. Watch our commentary, because we don't want something that is reminiscent of a Tupac Big result come out of this. So we have to be responsible, and be strategic in our commentary in this rap beef. But, you know, hands down, in my personal opinion, Kendrick is mopping the floor with Drake. That's what I'm saying. He mopping, and allegedly he got his information, like, you know what you said, Brother Black. Allegedly, Drake being a pedophile and all this whole kind of stuff. Allegedly, Kendrick got that information from Drake himself. From Drake himself. Now, keep this in mind, family. Go ahead, Black.
Wasn't J. Cole like involved in this in the beginning, and then it morphed into what was that about? I mean,
J. Cole was in it in the beginning, but he bowed out once it started getting crazy. He's like, I'm out, because I see the way this is going. I think he even apologized to Kendrick or something. But, you know, it's crazy because they talk about who the enemy is, right? In some of their lyrics, they talk about who the enemy is. Kendrick tells, you know, or lets the world know that, you know, Drake ain't one of us. You know, he got a such and such mama, so, you know, we can't trust him.
And the family lineage goes through the mother in the Jewish community.
Yeah, say that again. Because now, here's an old clip that came across my timeline of Drake, and he's talking to or singing I guess a duet with Justin Bieber when he was a lot younger. but he talks about Justin Bieber sounding like a young rabbi at that time. So let's hear the clip and we'll come back. Here we go.
I will remember you. Will you remember me? Don't let your life pass you by. Weep not for the memories. You, my friend, have the voice of a young rabbi.
He would know. He would know, considering, his lineage. So I believe someone asked the question, is it possible that he can't be black because he's mixed race? Well, my answer to that is absolutely not. However, it's not for me to say. Now, keep that in mind with Mr. Floyd Mayweather, who always liked to talk out of both sides of his mouth. See, that's why I don't mess with short dudes, because this is just too extra. They just too extra. Anything under 6 feet is too extra, except Brother Tad. But I'm just saying, anything under 6 feet is too extra for me and get on my nerves. But for all my Floyd Mayweather fans out here, look at the piece that Floyd is wearing right there. You see that? You see the Jewish star right there? Now, check this out.
Rabbi Mayweather. Rabbi Mayweather.
That's for all you Floyd Mayweather fans out there. They chanting Rabbi Mayweather, Rabbi Mayweather. I'm telling you what. Your thoughts, Brother Black, on this?
Well, Floyd may be reluctant, but in order to keep his money, in order to keep his name as money, he got to play the game too. I don't care how gangster you are, how undefeated you are, whatever. You got to play it. Mike Tyson got to play it. The toughest 50 Cent playing it. Everybody got a role to play in this game, and that's why they ain't let me in. Because I would have been like, yay, or somebody most of y'all hate because y'all say we crazy when we come out with it emotionally because we've been through it. And as a and as a targeted individual, I'm still going through it. So just because I don't talk about it that much no more, it don't mean I ain't going through stuff. You know what I'm saying?
Facts. You and I both. Now, with that piece right there, I think Brother Cousin Rush and Sister Farnessa say he's stuck in Dubai right now. So I guess his
he got plenty of money.
Well, it ain't working for him over there because apparently you get yourself in some mess.
What he got stuck there for?
Why did he call his rabbi friends? I mean, he an honorary rabbi now. Ain't that what they were saying?
Well, why he get stuck there though?
I don't know. I don't know. I just saw it in the chat, so I have no idea. But it is what it is. It is what it is. These people, that's how they move. But back in the 80s, they tried to warn y'all about the Israeli lobby. Well, no clip came across my desk. And I'm going to play it for y'all about this lobby. Here we go.
Hello, I'm Ted Pike, and this is my wife, Alin. Today, a foreign government, Israel, operates the most powerful lobby in Congress. This is AIPAC, the American Israel Public Affairs Committee. Through control of Congress, Israel demands and gets nearly $5 billion annually. No elected official dares criticize Israel for fear the Jewish lobby will accuse him of anti-Semitism, the kiss of death for any politician. The president also knows what Israel wants, Israel gets. To act otherwise is political suicide. The mass media, founded and controlled primarily by Jews, manipulates the spigot of information out of which heartland America drinks. The message of this contaminated source is, if you criticize Israel, You are anti-Semitic. Be safe. Keep your head down, or you are fair game for being knocked off by the Zionist shooting gallery.
So, of course, it's not far-fetched that they want to attach themselves more and more to the celebrity world, given the fact that now the tables have turned or beginning to turn on these Palestinian protesters on these college campuses and places of business. People are getting fed up now. So, the hats is calling in, to all their friends, their government friends, their celebrity friends. And, it's time for y'all to be on Front Street right now. So I guess, that's what it is. Sister Marcia, you ready? Sister Marcia, glad to be back with you. What's good, girl?
Peace, everyone. Happy Blacktastic Thursday on another Third Black Talk. I'm feeling well and rested. How's everyone else?
I'm back to normal, as I said before. After the bike tour, I had to, take a whole day to rest, and I did just that. So, and I caught a bad cold too. I actually caught it from my grandson before the bike tour, and kind of held off until I got home. As soon as I got home, I started feeling weak and tired, and it was just a wrap. It was a wrap after that. So I couldn't go on last week because, I was coughing like a hack and my throat was swollen and all that kind of stuff. But I'm back to normal. Got me some Malayan drops and some soursop drops and my black seed oil. I'm good. I'm good over here.
I'm so glad you're back and well. On my front, Jay is at respite. So I get to rest and I get to do a whole bunch of things that I want to do without having to worry. And then I get to sleep all night without having to worry. So that's awesome for me and everyone else in my house as well that stresses over the minute things that happens. But in my adventures of this week, I went to, the bathhouse. And it is just a fabulous place. I really enjoyed myself there. However, why was there a big man in my room, in the ladies' room? I was just like, this is yes.
Oh.
This is a big doofy man.
That's crazy. Ladies, what would you do if you walk into a public bathroom or you're in a public space where it should be some females up in here and, one of the Transformers come and see you? Tell us, ladies, give me your feedback on how you would react if this was to happen. Because I know how I'm going to react.
You're going to enact with 2A, right?
I refuse to answer that question on the grounds it may incriminate me. It's going to be a problem. Sister Farnessa said, turn around and walk back out. It's crazy.
Well, I was already done for the day. So I didn't see this thing, person, entity until I was leaving. I was already out the shower, but I refused to get dressed. So now I had to figure out where to go and get dressed without, because the place is all wet and stuff like that. So now you got to worry about how you're going to walk around without slipping and falling. Because then if you fall, it's on your fault because you're on another part of the spa house where you're not supposed to be wearing shoes and stuff like that. And nobody want to go barefooted. Nobody want to do all of this. I had already relinquished my shoes. I was already ready to get out. And I'm like, what the hell? What the heck? I couldn't run out of there any quicker. And I wasn't the only woman offended. Let me just say that, because there was, this is a nice, 75% of the establishment is with the other folks, right? And the other folks, at least 5 of them that was around me was like covering up and trying to run as well. So it's I've never.
It's like this. you have a choice to go to that place or not anymore. And you can tell them why you won't go there no more. It's at a point where most states now have taken back that law because some of these transformers was raping women and little girls in these bathrooms. So you got to be careful with that stuff. Don't play with that. That's not funny to me at all. Real talk. I'm not saying you're making fun. I'm saying that stuff is what needs to stop. And this is why they hate me, because I don't have no problem saying that anywhere.
Well, no, I totally agree with you.
Yeah.
This is not appropriate.
Uh-huh.
It does make a woman feel unsafe because
Hell
you
yeah.
don't know what this person's intent is. This person may be all, I just want to whatever, but then again, they can also be a lunatic and you're caught in the crosshairs with a lunatic. However, right now, especially in New York City, everything is free game. So it's like you're going into any space that you go into, you are potentially going to meet this type of attack. And it is an attack. It is a physical attack on you because I shouldn't have to see your wonker. I don't want to see that. If I want to see a wonker, I want to see a nice big black wonker on a black man. That's what I want to see.
On that note, oh God. Anyway, moving on. Wow, everybody was paying attention to the situation with Kendrick and Drake. Yes, we were alive when Tupac passed. We are older than all of them. But anyway, I wanted to bring to light a vote that was on the floor about child marriage. As Brother Black said, we got caught up in distraction and weren't paying attention to them trying to pass child marriage. Now, this is in this New Hampshire State House. The New Hampshire House passed a bill to ban child marriage in the state and raise the minimum age of marriage to 18. The measure passed the Senate unanimously on March. On Thursday, it passed the House 192 to 174. The bill now goes to Governor Chris Sununu for signing into law. Now, it said the bill passed the House 192 to 174. I want to know who the hell the 174 are. Who are the 174 now? I don't live in the state of New Hampshire, but for those of you who do, who were the 174 who voted for child marriage? That's what I want to know. Somebody tell me who was the one that voted for it. But again, I say, we are playing in a devil cesspool. This is diabolical for anybody to 171, only 174. This is crazy. Who were the ones who voted for child marriage? And then I want you to question your sanity. Why the hell you vote them into office? Because again, I keep telling you guys, you don't know anything about these politicians and you voting them into office to give them authority to lobby and advocate on your behalf in your name. And then you wonder why you catch so much hell. Or why somebody is busting your son up in the head on the side of the road in the street. Because you are co-conspirators in a lot of the foolishness that's going on in this world. When you vote and you elect someone, that is you, the voter, legally giving up your right to someone else to advocate on your behalf. It's very easy to break the system. Very easy. It's very, very easy. It doesn't take any fanfare. It doesn't take any rah-rah. All you got to do is don't go to the polls. The two-party system is broken. If everyone stay home for one election term, you will officially break it, and it's done. It's done. But it seems that people are so reluctant to have this happen. And I don't know why. I don't know why. Especially those who vote blue no matter who, Democrat Party. So remember when we took our trip to the New York Historical Society, and I was saying, there were some cards that were published by the Democratic Party to keep Black people from voting. They were also used um, as information packets for the KKK, because now this rumor has come out now, the KKK's early relationship with the Democratic Party being its military arm, in fact. And so they're trying to clean all of this stuff up. Well, that's why I like to go to these museums and things, because you get a chance to find these objects and uh, pieces that can be used as evidence in your argument. Here's a quick video of a man who happened to have one such card, and he's going to tell you all about it and what it's for. It's about 30 seconds. Let's hear him, and then we'll come back and we'll discuss it. Here we go, family.
Card, what looks like to be the size and shape of a baseball card, actually has 63 faces on it. 13 of them white, 50 of them are African Americans. Well, they were all state legislators from South Carolina. They were all Republicans, and this card was actually put out by the KKK, so all the members of the KKK would know exactly who they should target and who they should eliminate. This wasn't just something that the KKK targeted African Americans. It actually was a movement of the Democrat Party trying to stop the Republican Party, which believed in equality for all.
Now, when you ask where did the Ku Klux Klan get its strength from, got it from the Democratic Party. And I keep telling y'all, the first party that should be advocates for reparations is the Democratic Party, because they were co-conspirators in our enslavement. The founder of the Democratic Party, Andrew Jackson, please listen. I'm going to try to find some information, because I think y'all don't believe me when I'm telling y'all. Like, I don't understand how anybody could ever do such a thing. These people, just like the Catholic Church, Black folks who are Catholics, you are an anomaly to me. Like, how in all the hell are you a Catholic when they sanction your enslavement?
Sister Keisha, let me
And
ask
hold on, and then you wonder why. When it comes to those who pray the hardest, Black people in these religious spaces, families suffer the most. Go ahead, Brother Black.
Most Black people in this country know how evil the Catholic Church is as a whole. And what they did was they increased their recruiting once it got to a critical mass in the Caribbean and Africa. That's where most of the Black Catholics are now, en masse. Of course, we still got some today in this day and age, but those are the people who are helplessly religious and they just used to it. So they're not going to make any changes. Because I was having these conversations. I don't even talk about religion anymore, only in this context. I was telling people that 25, 30 years ago. I went to Catholic school for 10 years of my life. So I'm very well versed in Catholic. Yeah, well,
then I need some of those prayers too, because out of the island of Haiti, Catholicism is its main religion, and most of my family is still very much Catholic, but I think it's hard for someone to relinquish something that they have been inculcated on all their life, and they feel a source of comfort and understanding. Even if they do the basic knowledge of history, they still, people are still people. People are still like, at least this is a place where I can feel something. I don't know, but it is weird. And it's weird to even when you're talking to people about our enslavement, how entangled Catholicism is in it, and yet you're still following it. Though the Catholics that I question the most are the new Catholics, the ones that willingly choose after 25 and 30 to become Catholics. Those are the ones that I question a lot, because you're like, you know, a lot of things, you know, the deep roots of Rome and how the Vatican stands as it is right now.
They really don't. They don't.
Sir, there are 25 and 35-year-olds who know today. I'm not talking about the elder people. I'm talking about folks that I absolutely know. And they are willing. They go in every Sunday and they are faithful with it.
Some people just don't know how to not be religious. They'll go from that to Islam and then to Buddhist, and just be you.
I can agree with that. Because they're torn. They can't find a spiritual center. So they're flip-flopping through the course of life. I can agree with that part. But to say that they don't know, I think that would be ignorant on our part. Because
let me say it like this then. Let me say it like this. You can't tell a brainwashed person that they're brainwashed. They'll fight you tooth and nail to tell you that they're not. I don't care what they believe in. This ain't even about religion at this point. You can't tell people that they're not brainwashed, or tell brainwashed people that they are.
Or how about they're just trying to find a spiritual center and they can't
But
find
I'm talking about in every aspect of this existence that we
That's
know.
what I'm saying. I'm also talking about this. They can't find a spiritual center.
Right.
They can't find something that makes their spirit feel whole. And it could also be that they're not sitting in their spirit as well, but they're looking for something to make their spirit feel whole. I think that's something that must be something out there as well.
I like what K. Rush said. He said most don't want accountability for the lives lived. They don't. So I'll go behind a little door with a curtain or whatever and confess my sins and say a couple of Hail Marys, and then I'll start off from scratch. Even though I'm a wicked bastard and I'm gonna always be a wicked bastard. But if I come behind this door, curtain or whatever, and come on, man.
So, but even though you're a wicked bastard, at least you know you're a wicked bastard. You identified yourself. Nobody else did it. You did it for yourself. So be that wicked bastard.
I don't get it. Like I said, we walk around with many computers in our hands, and it's just no reason for folks to be that dumb.
Kathy Hochul says Black people don't know computers. So what computer?
She said, Black children from the Bronx. In that category.
He said, I'm from Brooklyn. Don't put me in the Bronx.
Hey, listen. She didn't even say they don't have computers in the house. She said they don't know what it is.
They don't know it.
They've never seen that. What is that foreign thing? They've never been to a library, to a school, or to an office building.
They don't know. What the hell? What the hell is this? Just like when they find gold, the first time they discovered gold, they were like, oh, this is so shiny and beautiful. Ah!
Oh, God. Sister Pat said, unfortunately, Sister Marcia, the person they confess to is more wicked.
Oh, I agree.
Right, Sister Pat.
I agree. Listen, Sister Pat, I was in Catholic school all my life. And I tell you something.
You sound like Celia. All my life.
I had to fight. Listen, so I know wicked nuns. Like, I went to an all-girl school. This is what tarnishes me a lot, because these girls, these nuns, they were on another level. And I think these are things that people don't want to talk about. They want to hide it. They want to keep it as their precious little secrets and stuff like that. But couldn't no one listen? And at some point, so when I was a little person, even though I'm still a short person, but I was a little person, I used to get paddled a lot by the nuns. And at that time,
They beat you?
they beat me. And my parents was like, beat her. Like hop, like Sealy told Hopple. Just beat her.
Fighting.
But at some point, you think that this is a deviant that these people have, because there is no way that you want to paddle a child often, like often. And it doesn't make no sense. But it is what it is. It is my experience. It is all condensed into one look back. Like, what, the blood clot? Like, I got beat in school, I got beat at home, but they damn sure wasn't beating me in the streets.
Every which way but loose.
No, not in the streets. In the streets, I reclaimed myself in the streets. Y'all don't have authority over me.
I know that's right, sis. She was like, mommy beat me, the school beat me. I'm icing y'all up out here. Move.
I'm taking everything out. You'll die today, kid.
It is what it is, family. It is what it is. But, we got to move on. So, my brother Black, he sent a video. Let me pull it up here. And we'll let Brother Black go into it. How about that? So, give me a second here, family. Make sure. Can you see it? There you go, Black. You ready? All right. You let me know when to stop. I'm trying to check the background to see if we don't get flagged.
I just saw a few minutes of it. Basically, I could cover it without even listening to it, because I listen to him all the time.
Anyway. I'm a geophysicist, and today I have an incredibly important announcement for you. What may be the most powerful geomagnetic storm of the 21st century is about to happen on our planet from about May 10th to May 12th. And the reason why is that right now we're in solar maximum. So the magnetic field of the sun is mid-flip. Solar cycle 25 has been stronger than expected, and the sun just launched 5+ coronal mass ejections our way. These are all of the halo characteristic, which means that they are headed towards our planet. So we're going to go through all the data in this video, do a complete breakdown, and then also talk about some of the consequences of very powerful geomagnetic storms. The most powerful geomagnetic storms that happened of the 21st century were back in 2003. These were the Halloween storms. Up in Canada, for example, there were widespread power outages during that period of geomagnetic.
Okay, if you heard everything he said, he kind of said it, but he didn't actually say it. If you're not really versed in this type of stuff, you won't get what he said. I need y'all to know, I meant to tell you earlier too, but then we got into something different and we kind of went away from it. The magnetic field that's over the dome of the firmament is gone. So and the reason why that solar storm is going to be so heavy, whether it does all this devastation or not, is because it's open now. And so this means an increase of solar activity, whether it is solar flares, solar flashes. And remember, I've been talking about solar flash. I'm talking about the grand one that's supposed to propel us into the 5th dimension. And this is what I think all of us are thinking, because the eclipse on April 8th was the precursor to that. We're not far away from it. You can believe me. You can say I'm crazy, but the information is out there if you wish to research. So with that increase of energy is going to also, you're going to be having all kind of what they call ascension symptoms if you're chosen. And most people out here aren't. So they don't know what I'm talking about. Ascension symptoms, you can't sleep, Your sleep patterns change drastically. You having vivid dreams. You get headaches. Sometimes you can't stop being joyful, and sometimes you can't stop crying. You know, that's just some of them. I mean, you can look it up, ascension symptoms. It'll give you a list on Google or whatever. You don't even got to watch a 2-hour video. You can watch a 5-minute video or see a list of what is all in there. And then it's personal to your belief too. Sometimes your back hurt. Sometimes you feel like you can jump higher than Michael Jordan. You know, those kind of things. So it's physical and spiritual as well.
Yep.
Right.
K. Russ said he watched that guy too. He says ringing in the ears, birds singing at night, all of that.
Yeah, all that crazy stuff.
Sister Keisha said sleep apnea. She said, I got sleep apnea. Listen, all I know is I'm always up. I don't know why, but I keep getting up at 3 something in the morning. I don't know why, but it's been like that for years. It's been like that for years.
You know I'm up. I be sending stuff. I'm like, I know I am bothering people, but I can't not send the content. And then I'm like, well, maybe I create a dummy page and then I'll send it to myself and then send it out at a decent hour to people. But even through the dummy page, I forget to send things out. But yeah, I am up all night long. I need to take a nap during the day, and this is my new pattern. Like if I don't take a nap during the day, I'm miserable. I absolutely went on 18 hours or 24 hours without sleep, and I'm miserable. Sometimes I even blame it on my poor son, and it's not his fault. It's just the pattern of my life right now, and it is not fun.
Better leave Jay Coyne alone. Anyway,
I know, right?
This week, Monday, they had the Met Gala here in New York, but we cover history here. So I'm going to give you a little bit of history that you may not have known as it relates to the Met Gala. So we'll play that and we'll come back and we'll discuss it, because one thing on the carpet in the Met Gala, Brooklyn. Here we go. But we're going to get this historical piece. I guarantee y'all ain't know about some of this, especially this sister. But anyway, here we go.
The Met Gala is the biggest fashion event of the year, but it's part of a 100-year story of fundraising through fashion. One of the first recorded charity fashion shows took place at the Ritz-Carlton in 1914, attended by the Gilded Age elite. Edna Woolman Chase organized it to raise money for European families and to showcase American fashion during World War I. The rise of the charity fashion show coincided with the Great Migration of African Americans escaping the Jim Crow South. Affluent African Americans showed off their wealth at churches and at charity fashion shows. Media didn't cover the first Met Gala in 1948. Only Women's Wear Daily reported on it. The idea to fund the Costume Institute came up after World War II. Eleanor Lambert teamed up with Dorothy Shaver to promote American fashion, and they hosted it at the Rainbow Room. It wasn't until 1973 that Diana Vreeland decided to host a gala at the Met itself. She introduced a theme, tied it to the exhibition topic, and invited celebrities. She wanted audiences to see fashion like any other form of art. In 1995, Anna Wintour took over and made it the event it is today, even more celebrity-oriented. The Met Gala is...
So that's a little bit of history that I'm sure that you all did not know about. So where did all that flair and glamour and all of that come from? That's right, Black people, God damn it. We put it on First Street. We made it pop. Let's be clear. This is what I'm trying to tell y'all a couple of weeks ago, how corporations and government make money off of us and our culture and how we move without us even being involved in it. Now, one of my favorite brands, Black-owned brand, of course. You know, I wore it a month ago. I think it was a month ago when I was hanging out with my swap sisters. I wore Moshood. When I renewed my wedding vows, in 2019. My husband and I, we wore Moshood. Councilman Lori Cumber wore what at the Met Gala? Moshood. Shout out to Moshood. Here we go. Stop playing. Rip the runway.
Is he still doing fashion shows on on the sidewalk?
Yes, actually, I think 2 years ago, Ashe was in that. So yeah, he still does it. Shout out to Moshood. When you bring Nigeria and Brooklyn together, baby, that's a legendary, iconic brand. So to see it at the Met Gala in that fashion, definitely kudos to Moshood on that. Your thoughts, Brother Black, seeing our folks on Front Street?
Oh man, when I used to hang in that part of Clint Hill, downtown Brooklyn, whatever you want to call it, where his store was, and Nicholas was still there. I would walk from maybe one of them street. What was the street where Bob Law had his restaurant? You on mute?
I can't remember the exact street, but I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, right. I used to walk from there down Fulton Street and
all. Bob Law, his wife passed away, I think, a couple of months ago.
Oh, I'm sorry to hear that. Yeah, but I would go there to that restaurant and then walk down Fulton Street, and every place I would stop at Nicholas, I would stop at Moshood, I would stop in one or two other places, because that was it was like a route for me to walk that way and then get back on the train, go to either Harlem or wherever I was living at the time, East New York, wherever. So good memories. Yeah, that's my man. Good dude, very good dude. Been knowing him a long time.
Definitely. As a matter of fact, when they fitted us for our vow renewal, I kind of went in on a humble, right? And I was like, I'm just gonna get what we need. But then, I know how my husband is. Things have to be very particular. And, him and, his employee, they took care of us from head to toe. Said to sit down, don't worry about it. We got you. What's your color theme? We got you. So anyway, he took care of me very, very well. So again, I always love Moshood. I love the brand. Sister Marcia, are your thoughts on Moshood?
Oh, I just love the celebration that the congressperson has given the brand, especially since they were suffering for a minute, right? So this will bring a great light to them, hopefully within our community and not the outsiders, because I know how that also happens. But I appreciate that. And I appreciate that she brought her whole entire family. That's what it's about, because it's a fashion gala display and stuff like that, but where are the children absorbing this information that's going to be displayed, right? And so having her child there with her I applaud it. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. Shout out Moshood. Go Moshood.
Gotta give Moshood some love. But so Sister Keisha, she wanted to see some of the fashions. You can check out excuse me, their Instagram page and their website as well for some of the fashions. I have this outfit, I have it in white. Let me see. I do want the t-shirt dress. We're gonna see if I can get that one. I want that t-shirt dress for real. Yeah, so go through, check out the website or their Instagram, and you can see Sister from Nicholas, Brooklyn, Monique right here. Welcome with you, because they're next door neighbors now, because they're in the same restoration now. So those two businesses are iconic businesses here in the city of New York, in particular Brooklyn. Two iconic businesses right next door to each other. So yeah, you can definitely check out Moshood, and you know, I love the brand, I love the clothing, so it's totally up to you. And his motto has always been, "Why not wear yourself?" So um, I've always liked that about Moshood, and also it's very welcoming when you come in. You know, they take care of you off the rip, and try to match you with colors that are that will match your skin tones. Actually, you may come in for a particular color, but you may leave out with something totally entirely different once the brother fits you and takes care of you. So they do tailoring and all of that. Then you can get custom pieces as well if you want. So totally up to you. But I want to move on because Sister Marcia and I, we got to get back to the New York Historical Society. We got to figure out maybe in the next couple of weeks we can make it happen. Because there are some more things on
Absolutely.
display. Because I wanted you to see it, Sister Marcia. Um, and hold on, I'd rather for y'all to see it. So again, you have this horse-drawn coat sculpture. The artist in residence, uh, Beatrice Glow, collaborated with genealogist Teresa Vega. Vega is motivated by knowing that our story is out there, waiting to be told. Her ancestors include Abraham van Sally, an early Moorish Dutch settler in New Netherlands, one of the first enslaved Angolans arriving in 1627, and the Munsee Lenape people. This small scale sculpture imagines three generations of Vega's ancestors sitting together. At the reins is Thomas Thompson, a formerly enslaved stagecoach driver who delivered mail in New York and New Jersey. In the back, her mother sits with Antonia Tun Snyder, who ran from her enslaver. Let's check this out, and hopefully, you guys can get to the New York Historical Society and see it for yourself. So here we go. Hold on. So again, you might not know how people honor you, your ancestors, and your heritage, but it's always on display. And one of the things that I can say about the Historical Society, even things that aren't on display, you can definitely get a chance to see other things as long as you make an appointment and it's not under membership. Then there are, archives and, things like that about some of your own family members, to be exact, in a lot of these societies. So me and Sister Marcia, we definitely going to work out a day we can get back out there and see some things. So, did you like that, Sister Marcia, this Moorish Dutch sculpture?
Absolutely. Absolutely. And one of the projects that African on the Rise is working on right now is doing your family tree, right? And then creating a story about your family tree beyond the levels that we know, right? Most of us know about 2 or 3 generations back. So now you're going to create a story about 2 or 3 generations further back, because you might not know the story. You can't tell, but you can tell an epic tale on how you are here today, right? So it's always about reconnecting with your ancestors. And if their life was hard, make a story of their life that is glorious for you, so that you can thrive through.
I love it, Sister Marcia. I'm a big proponent of people researching their own family stories. And I absolutely love it. Speaking of that, Aunt Marie, I'm coming. I'm coming. I got you on the list too. I got to come over there and see some things. My family know when I come over, I'm going through your pictures and all that. Let me see what documents you got. But anyway, speaking of our history, because this is what we do here, we're going to discuss a little bit of Gullah Geechee history. Now, shout out to all of my Gullah Geechee family out there. I can't wait for the family reunion in 2025. Will be in none other than Charleston, North Carolina. So I am looking forward to getting down there. Again, I am excited. I'm excited. I'm excited.
You said Charleston or Charlotte?
Charlotte, excuse me, North Carolina. But here we go. Let's get a little Gullah Geechee language history. For those of you who aren't familiar with the language or haven't visited those parts of the country, and go down there and you may hear some dialogue happening, you don't know what the hell they're talking about. I do, but anyway. Let's hear this history and we'll come back and we'll discuss it. Here we go.
The spirituality of the Gullah people is first and foremost, and family is another aspect that is so very important to the Gullah people. Spirituality, family, food, music, and the language.
Really what the Gullah Geechee language is an English-based Creole language. We can just drop one letter from a word and just change the sound altogether. We would probably say, oh, we out here in the yard, okay? We wouldn't say that. We say, we're there in the yard. And you really have to know the language to know what we're saying. And that what really made us ashamed of it, because people say it was broken English that we were speaking, but we was just communicating. I mean, we were talking. It was our language. And what people don't have a language?
What people don't have a language. And let me tell you something, it is totally different when you go down there. You better listen carefully. You know what I'm saying? If you think Southern accents can be quite heavy, that Gullah Geechee accent, yeah, it's something. But I get it. It's very easy for me, But have you, Sister Marcia, ever encountered any Gullah Geechee in your life?
I
Here
have.
in the U.S.
I have. One of my uncles was married to a woman from America, and she's a beautiful woman. And when we would visit her family in like Coney Island, and this was like a foreign place for me. We're going to Coney Island. Oh my God. In Coney Island, her relatives would speak and I'd be like, what's going on here? But I familiarized myself with the dialect as I continued to as we continue to melt into a blended family. So it became familiar. But what's so funny is that all languages has a brokenness into it, right? So even in Haitian Creole, there is a part of Haiti that speaks a dialect of Haitian Creole that I don't know. I'm like, wait, what just happened? What just happened here? How am I in a room that I'm supposed to know the language and I don't? So I think that, language is so fabulous. Shout outs to all the Black linguistics out here, because to study our language is to study something very unique, because it is our way of creating messages that no one else can understand. So these messages are encoded for our liberation. These messages are the same messages that were put in braids or put in quilted blankets, So we have messages, but unfortunately, through our ignorance, we have left some of these things behind. And it's about time that we sankofa a lot of things, because there's a lot of things back there that we need to thrive today.
Got you. Sister Marie, she says, I will tell you this, the ancestors do come to me in my dreams. They even gave me a name. I had to ask my cousin. She lives in Africa with a husband who is from Nigeria. The language is Igbo. Of course. Of course, sometimes you could be walking and you can hear somebody whisper something in your ear. That happens often. Often. Sister Pat says, Gullah sound like Bayesians. A little bit. A little bit. A little bit. A little bit. Um, and let me tell you something. They are very, very communal people. When you go down there, they are very, very communal people. We were going to visit my oldest ancestor in this country, his gravesite, right? And he's buried way into the swamp. So it had rained for several days prior to us getting down there. So the bus that we were on, the ground was too saturated, so we weren't able to go all the way to the graveyard, let alone the grave itself. But I can tell you this, people from all over came with their trucks to get as many of us as they possibly can to take us to at least the graveyard, so that we can see it. So I was able to stand at the front of the gate and see where my ancestor is buried, but the ground was too wet. I couldn't go inside because that is swampland. So, very, very down to earth people. We always, the United African Movement, every Memorial Day weekend, we took trips down to the Gullah Festival and made sure that we were there with our people every Memorial Day. So I can't say enough about the Gullah. I can't wait to get down there and have a good time. Moving on, because time is running and I want to get us up out of here on time because I got a big day tomorrow. And like I said, I had just rushed in here. So, in recent news, I know y'all saw this. If you haven't, then you shall. A church service in Pennsylvania, PA again, came to a terrifying halt on Sunday when a man pulled a gun on a pastor and allegedly attempted to shoot him during his sermon, officials said. The suspect gunman, who police identified as 26-year-old Bernard Jr. Polite, excuse me, entered the church and allegedly attempted to shoot the pastor, Glenn Germany, as he was delivering his sermon on a live stream, according to police. Let's take a look and we'll come back and discuss.
You were once on this side of the kingdom. You were enemies to God. You were on in a whole different kingdom than God. And God had chose. Jesus.
They subdued him and were able to hold him until law enforcement came. But the crazy part of this story is that when law enforcement went to his home, they found a corpse in his home. I tell you, boy, insanity is serious. I haven't heard much after that as far as what happened with him and what's going on. But yeah, they found a damn dead body in the damn house. When they went, listen, people, especially those you know, and you don't hear from them a while, check on them. Check on them. I don't know who this person was that they found deceased, but I'm sure he wasn't the only person that they knew. We got a bad habit about not checking in on our folks. Sister Marcia, go ahead.
As you were talking about the Geechee people and being communal, right? That is something that has this environment has taken out from us our ability to remain connected with one another, to check in on one another. You feel like, Aunt Shakita lives in Detroit. I don't need to talk to her anymore. She's far away. Or you could have Aunt Cassandra around the corner from you, but you and Aunt Cassandra don't see each other. There is something about this dynamic that's in America and that is growing across the world, right? It is metastasizing where it's telling you not to connect, and this is one of the reasons why I think COVID was a plant, right? We talk about different reasons, but this is another reason to keep us disconnected from one another. And we as people are communal. We need one another to feed and grow. These are one of the other reasons why we can't thrive and do particular things, because when our ancestors or elders walked 381 days, there was a community. There was communal aspects of this is what we're doing. Billy, you're gonna pick up Sandra. Sandra, you're gonna pick up Marcia. Marcia, you're gonna pick up Keisha. Keisha, you're gonna pick up Flav. This is how it's gonna go, and this is something. So, condolences to whoever that person was in that brother's home. But again, this idea of what mental challenges this person is facing or what trauma this person received to interact like this, or me, big old conspiracies, was he like the pastor in Brooklyn just setting up shop so he can get people in the church?
When I first saw that,
I'm going everywhere with it. I'm gonna go everywhere with it. I'm just saying.
When I saw that, I said the exact same thing. Marcia, it looks a replica of Brother Black. Your thoughts?
Oh, wait, Brother Black, give me 1 second. And then the pastor go on top of the brother and yeah, I got him. Come on, pastor. They just come on, pastor.
I cannot. I'm feeling it. Brother Black, did you get a chance to see that?
I saw it. I just saw it, and what I thought was going to happen, Sister Marcia, I'm going to address this to you. I thought it was going to be a trick video, and it was going to be some fat dude walking on the stage saying, swallowed.
I can't with them. I cannot. But
have you ever been swallowed?
Yo, he ain't gonna ever live that down. Ever. He gonna die and come back again and still not live that down.
Hey, 2 weeks ago, somebody called me a bitch ass nigga. So I told them, if I'm a bitch ass nigga, I'm Diddy and you Meek Mill.
Swallowing.
There you go.
Bro, like I said, everything. Listen, don't ever send me that. I told you the person who sent me that. I'm like, what the? Stop this thing. It's crazy. We got
Tad. I need Tad right now.
he couldn't get his technical issues resolved. Yeah. But we have a serious situation now. We have another one. Here we go, another one. Massachusetts attorney sentenced 10 years in prison after hiring hitman to kill his supermodel ex-wife, mother of his two children. I keep trying to tell y'all like to switch teams. And you out here switching teams and, you're getting done up out here. This is like the 8th one of this type of damn, you can't even say the words no more. But this type of crime, allegedly. This is like the 8th one.
It's not alleged if he's going to be sentenced.
Ain't no alleged, exactly.
Yeah, he's being sentenced. He's hiring a hitman.
The dude he tried to hire was an informant. He wasn't, just some guy that decided to snitch. He was already a cop or an informant or whatever he was.
Everybody keep trying to switch teams. And
he's an attorney. He should have knew how to get himself out of that.
DJ Plaid. I don't know why black people still rock with him. It's beyond me.
He pays them.
Yeah, I guess so, Black. I guess you're right 100% on that. But anyway.
But wait. On the note of he pays them, so you want to say that it's okay to be paid to kill your community?
There's some people who don't give a F about none of what you just said. They are killing the community.
Okay.
Oh, on that note, Sister Keisha said they're using them for their womb and sperm, black people. Yeah, of course. Of course. They gotta, bleed you out and keep their selves alive. But anyway, dealing with DJ Vlad. I don't know why black people still rock with him, follow him, or anything like that. But there was some commentary that was made on Twitter, or now X, as it relates to these protests that have been happening on college campuses. DJ Vlad makes a comment to a professor that he's going to now call the school and make sure she's fired because she said that the protesters weren't being anti Semitic, that they were within their right to demonstrate or whatever the case may be. He gets in his feelings, and again, like they always do, I'm going to take your livelihood from you. I'm going to try to bring you down. Well, I guess he didn't expect Black Twitter to come as hard as they did on him. It was all hands off for this black professor, right? All hands. So, it is what it is. Now, Madam President, what is the? She gives a breakdown about, not the protest, Drake and Kendrick Lamar. So many things going on. My brain is getting twisted here. But the commentary was in relation to Drake and Kendrick Lamar's battle. And he didn't like her comments and tried to come for her, but Black Twitter came for him. Hold on, here we go.
All right, so let's just talk about how DJ Vlad had to apologize to the Princeton professor for tagging the university in a heated exchange about Drake and Kendrick. Well, basically, this woman right here, who's a professor at Princeton, she told DJ Vlad, who was talking about Drake and Kendrick, she told him that this is a black folk conversation. He got upset about it. He said, oh, so you mean to tell me that I can't talk about Drake and Kendrick? How would Princeton, feel about you being a racist? Here's what I want a lot of people to understand. Just because you don't like what somebody says to you, that does not mean that it is grounds for termination. It's too many people who are getting their feelings hurt and trying to ruin a person's livelihood because you got your feelings hurt. Grow up! It's tiring. It's sickening. Grow up. All right, so let's just talk about how DJ.
I don't see how people rock with, Black made it plain. He's paying people. But black people should not be rocking with DJ Vlad. After so many years and so many violations, you keep rocking with this hat and people give him a pass because he lay down with black. You see what I'm saying? He's been given a pass. Empress Filet says, shout out to Dr. Filet. She says, so what should be done about them? Well, Dr. Filet, what must be done about them, I can't say on these streaming platforms. That's what has to be done about them. Period. And I made a comment, I think on Raheem Shabazz. Shout out to Raheem Shabazz. He made a post about, this whole Drake Kendrick Lamar situation. And I had said that, both Drake and Kendrick Lamar are well aware of who their enemies are, but neither one of them, because they talk about them in their tracks to each other, who the enemy is. The same person, same group of folks that Kanye talked about, same group of folks that Kyrie Irving talked about, and so many others. Let me make this perfectly clear. Black people, in particular black men. Let me make this perfectly clear to you. And I made the comment on Raheem Shabazz's post, and he agreed with me. Neither of these two men will put hands and feet on the enemy that they both know. But if need be, they will willingly do it to each other before they deal with the enemy they talk about. And this is the problem. And until that happens, the world will forever see you as a sucker. Period. You a sucker. I'm telling you. Go ahead, Sister Marcia.
But isn't that Black life in general? We will rather fight each other than turn around and put the pressure where the pressure needs to be. We would rather demean each other, burn each other's houses down. My fire is bigger than your fire, versus going to where the fire started in the beginning. We are so again, this all goes back down to what are our values, what are our principles, what is our code of ethics? Because if we had any of these things, even from the beginning of your conversation, Biggie and Tupac, we already saw examples of how this beef can escalate into lives lost for no reason, because we won't deal with real issues. In the time of Biggie and Tupac, we were dealing with community issues. We didn't want to deal with it. So we just, dealt with it in different ways, and now we have this issue where we know who the enemy is, but y'all just really talking about each other. Y'all not even talking about nothing. Y'all just putting all y'all businesses on wax. And yes, it's entertainment. And yes, there's one person that lays it pound for pound for pound for pound, where you're just like, oh my God, I just got slapped. I'm getting beat up out here in these streets. But again, we're not focusing on what the real issue is. And the real issue for right now, for today, is Kathy Hochul saying computers that Black folks don't know about. That's a real issue. And we need to, step to her door.
Only in the Bronx, though. Only in the Bronx.
I don't care if it's only in the Bronx. Even if she says it's only in the Bronx, she represents the whole New York, and her precedence, her democratic idea is running the whole United States. So her as a Democrat saying that Black children in the Bronx don't have computers, one Democrat in Mississippi is going to say the same thing. Another Democrat from Ohio is going to say the same thing. And it's just going to keep spreading and spreading like that. This is because we don't check the Democratic Party. And like Keisha was saying, let's do something in silence and let them burn.
Could it be this? Could that be because they know they couldn't do this in New York, Philadelphia, or Boston, or any of those places where most Black people have a level of sophistication to say that ain't gonna happen here? Could that be New York's version of these Jim Crow laws they did passing in the South in these 2 states? And if they did it in 2, they're gonna have more coming. Or could it be them making all the last ditch efforts based on what I'm talking about as far as the celestial stuff that's fitting to happen this weekend? That's only three days, tomorrow into Sunday. I don't know if you heard the first part of the show.
I did.
You weren't on the show when I was talking about that aspect.
I did. And I completely understand the energy that's going to be out here and how it's going to interrupt our biofears if we're not thinking right. I don't know what this intention was, but our response is what matters. And even through the Jim Crow aspects that you were saying that are happening, re-emerging in the South, and maybe this is her way to re-emerge it in New York, let it be known that our response is what matters. And if we continue to not respond, again, silence works in 2 ways. Silence can work to oppress us or to lead to our victory. And we need to use our silence to our victory in some cases, and we need to repel some of the other things. And right about now, this conversation of, to not have computers makes no sense, because the whole idea of all the free computers that they've been giving out since COVID, it just doesn't make any sense. And for the people to not be responding is troubling. It's very, very troubling. And I say again that we are a group of people that have been beat up so much that we are afraid to respond. We think that our response is not going to be any good. It's not going to be any worth. It's not going to be worth anything to us. And I want us to remember the 381 days that our ancestors or elders walked. It meant something. It did something. Whether it could have translated into something bigger and better for us, it could have, but it is what it is, and we know that it works. We need to apply pressure. Sister Keisha said, keep your kids from home. Keep your kids home. But I know, we know what it is in New York, where rent prices are $3,800 for a kitchen. So I know the pressures, but we have to respond in some way. We cannot allow this. We cannot allow these people to continually to talk about us like this.
Listen. I don't agree with that last part you just said, because anybody stupid enough to believe that there are no computers that kids know about in the Bronx, it's like we already spent way too much time talking about. It's ridiculous.
What is our response? The governor said something. We haven't responded. The Bronx.
Stop
your people haven't responded. Fine. Stop voting for her is one thing. But her term doesn't come up yet. So stop voting for her is not going to stop the rhetoric right now.
Okay, so
we need to show a response right now.
What's the response?
Sister Keisha gave a great example of getting out of school, keeping your children home. That's a great example. But again, like I said, with rent $3,800, people have to make some other different types of choices. There are choices that people have to make. But there needs to be a response, because her term isn't up right now. So she could say whatever she wants. We could not vote for her. They could not vote for her later on. But for right now, there needs to be a response, even if it's a 3-day response, something. I don't live in the Bronx.
Let's hope it's a solar flare that hits the governor's mansion.
But how is that going to stop it? Because this idea is replicating in the Democratic Party. She's not the only one talking like that.
I'm being symbolic now. I'm not talking about actually.
I'm glad you ended on that, Sister Marcia, because next week we're going to dive deep into this racist, vile history of the Democratic Party, including its connection that they are trying to scrub Google with to the Ku Klux Klan.
I think Roots did that just fine.
Yeah, Roots did that just fine. Whatever. But we gotta definitely learn how to put fear in these politicians' hearts, the same way the Israeli lobby does. The same way the Asian lobby does, the same way the Arab lobby does. And this is why, and I get what Brother Black is saying, and he's right in his perspective, what is really happening. However, as Sister Marcia said, if the response does not come in swift, again, the world forever sees you as a sucker. Period. That is the reason why Black people are on the bottom everywhere, because you're a sucker. You let everybody play you while you wait and pray or try to figure it out, or you feel defeated. Even those who know that they can't go up against them do so to garner respect. And they do. That's why, what was it, over 15 years they were fighting in Afghanistan with tanks, missiles, and drones against rocks and spoons. So you have to have something as a response to someone who is standing on your neck. You just can't let them stand on your neck. However, I get your understanding, Brother Black, that what is to come is to come. And they are getting this. Believe me, everybody being outed about a lot of stuff, even Chris Cuomo. And shout out to Pat Bett. Do not invite Chris Cuomo to your platform. You will lose credibility. Valuetainment, leave Chris Cuomo where he at. Mark Lamont Shields and Ebony K. Williams got the boot from the griot. You got the boot from the griot because although the griot is owned by Byron Allen, who happens to be black, he sleeps white. He can never be trusted. And I don't have no sorrow for Mark Lamont Shields because of the blatant disrespect that you've given our community over the years, our elders and our scholars.
He
I
told
hope that
Candace
you catch
Owens
it
a man can have a baby.
because he's a fool and a shill. And I hope that you get it 10 times over because that's what you deserve. And yes, Professor James Smalls may have saved you a behind whooping, but this time around, if I see you, he can't save you. Professor Kaba can't save you. None of these people can save you from me. None of you, because you came after straight black pride personally. And I don't forget, black people have very selective and forgetful memories, right? Like when I see black people who champion for former President Donald Trump in his fight, his legal fight right now, and talk about it would be unjust for him to be thrown into Rikers Island. He didn't have that energy for the Central Park jogger boys. And I know for a fact some of them lost their parents while they were behind that wall. So you eat what you give out. So whatever he gets, that's neither here nor there. Don't drop the soap and hold on to your wig. That's all I can tell you, boy. That's all I can tell you. But they won't let him. He'll be in a segregated place by himself anyway with 24-hour security that your tax dollars have paid for. But we have come to the end of our program and we got to get out of here in 4 minutes. Brother Black, your final thoughts and comments.
I do see us being victorious in small ways. And let me give you a few examples in recent times. There was a Chinese established open in Jamaica, and I'm sure you heard about this when it happened. I think a beach or something like that. I don't remember. Or maybe a hotel with a beach on the beachfront, and the Chinese excluded the Jamaicans and they burned it down just about 2 years ago. I don't know if y'all remember about that. If y'all remember that. Okay, about a month ago, maybe less, maybe the end of last month, supermarket opened up in Nigeria and the Chinese banned them. And a lot of people complained. They went to the Attorney General. They didn't even have a license to operate. They got shut down. So couple that with what happened last year in Alabama with with C Murder and the chair guy and all them people. We have these small victories that we have to use as flashpoints because that would be unheard of 40, 50 years ago, and especially in Alabama or Mississippi or Louisiana, them states where them crackers don't play. They kill people.
No, sir. No,
yeah,
sir.
They don't, we're
No,
not
sir.
fighting.
They
We
was
come out here with
fighting
guns,
heavy.
and y'all got kids over there.
They was fighting heavy in the
Yes,
South.
ma'am. So
That's
what
a,
I'm
that's
saying,
a, that's a, that's. Go ahead, brother. I'm sorry.
I'm sorry, sweetie. You say what you got to say, please.
In the South, in the North, and in the Midwest, we was kicking their tails on a regular. And this is the history that they don't want you all to know. They don't like to spread this history, but it's readily available. I told you there was a movie made in 1950 starring Sidney Poitier, and it's called No Way Out, I believe. And it's about him being a black doctor doing work on some racist white dudes in a hospital, and the people in the community get wind of it. I don't want to tell a movie, but anyway, it comes down to black versus white. And they wasn't having, this was in 1950. So we was doing that for sure. Go ahead, Brother Black.
Okay, so yeah, I don't want to be long-winded. I apologize for the long-windedness. I just wanted to get that out. We will be victorious, and that's why all these distractions are happening. If you see, it's going to ratchet up. I told y'all last year, before the year was over, there was going to be a lot of celestial events in 24 and celebrity gossip, and that prediction has only increased exponentially, especially since Cat Williams' interview. We already had Orlando Brown and Jaguar Wright, Kanye, and a few other people. Or excuse me, let me call him Ye, because the other Kanye is the fake guy. Ye is the real one. Okay, I keep telling y'all a lot of this stuff we seeing, these people ain't really alive, or they in Gitmo deep down somewhere. So let's just get that straight. And I'm gonna pass the buck to my sister Marcia, and I see y'all next week on the Brooklyn Bridge, hopefully right here. Peace.
Peace, Brother Black. That was great. I just want to also comment that our resistance has always been real. Sometimes the stories of our resistance aren't spread loud and fast, but our resistance has always been real. If we look at old newspapers from the Chicago Defender, even the Negro World, there are stories about us resisting. And I want us as a people to continue our resistance and show it loudly. We do pocket resistance, and that's great. But right now, we need to tear down a party, whatever party it is, and bring up a party, whatever party it is. But it has to be an African-centered party. It has to lie within our original ancestors' ideas and movement for humanity. And I encourage everyone to continue to tune in to Thorough Black Talk every Thursday night at 8 p.m. May time flourish. And if you can't may it flourish, make it flourish. Time is yours. You can wield it to your greatest manifestation. It is our time, Black brothers and sisters. Let's get it. Sister Keisha and Brother Tad, where you at? Brother Tad, where you at?
Tad has some technical difficulties. He could not.
You know the Sister Keisha ain't zap out today, right? Because you and Tad ain't going at it. It is what it is.
But y'all almost did, though, Brother Black. Anyway, family, thank y'all for joining us for another great episode of Thorough Black Talk Worldview. And we'll catch y'all black again next week on the Brooklyn Bridge. Remember, as my brother Ashe SJ always says, true courage is knowing how to suffer. The battlefield is where you stand. Tonight, we're going to close out. I found a video from the bike tour. Shout out to all the Black brothers and sisters who was riding, pushing through in the rain. We did that. But we going home tonight. So y'all have a good weekend. Stay safe out there, and happy Mother's Day to all the mothers.
Happy Mother's Day, Sister Keisha.
Happy Mother's Day, Sister Marcia.
Happy Mother's Day to all the mothers out there, and y'all.
Happy Mother's Day to all the Thorough Black mothers out here. Keep up the good work, and thank your grandmothers and all your ancestors. I forgot all about this day, but anyway, we mothers all the time, so we don't really know. Whatever. Europeans, white culture. Okay, peace.
Anyway, shout out to all the mothers. We definitely appreciate you. All the aunts, all the cousins, all the grandmothers, all the sisters who pick up the slack in the family, in the community. We love y'all. And next week when we come back, we're going to give y'all a little bit of Mother's Day history that I bet you didn't know about. So without further ado, we closing out, y'all. Y'all have a good weekend. Good night.